Welcome everyone. I am your host, Lex Black. You're tuning in to my channel, Midnight Arcade. This is Midnight Music episode 4. And this episode is about LAWbrey and Associates. The firm LAWbrey and Associates and their loyal followers. This is the discourse, honestly. This is the discourse gift that keeps on giving. Put simply, today, we speak about the LAWbrey Fighting Irish freestyle and what my ears heard, and also the fallout that followed this egregious freestyle when you actually break it down and listen to it. Before I get into anything else, make sure you like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell icon to be notified for whenever I drop that new heat. You heard? Yes, sir. All right, now let's get into it, man. So if you passively listen to this freestyle without paying much attention to the lyrics, you can easily avoid the very obvious and very consistent character flaws that he's been repeatedly flaunting in all of our faces for so many years. Then the shit sounds smooth, right? If you can ignore all that, then this shit sounds smooth as fuck. Now, Conductor Williams, a man curiously who has found himself producing for a couple of different Kendrick or Kendrick adjacent disses, is on the boards. And admittedly, y'all, I ain't even gonna hold you. This beat is wavy as fuck. It's wavy. It's very, very dope. But oh man, this song is as ironic as it is devoid of any self-awareness, accountability, and or personal growth and or well-rounded understanding about being a mature adult. Mind you, a near 40-year-old adult. Okay? I repeat, this song is very ironic as it is devoid of any self-awareness, accountability, and or personal growth, and or well-rounded understanding about being a mature adult, a near 40-year-old adult at that. It's really single-minded in its self-absorbed selfishness, like, God dang, man. And its selfishness and its self-aggrandizing view of his insular world. It's incredibly vapid and incredibly shallow, self-centered, and it really has some serious, like, Mean Girls energy, right? Like petty Mean Girls high school energy, which is like, bruh, listen, there's nothing wrong with being in touch with your feelings. In fact, it's incredibly important to be in touch with your feelings, being honest with your feelings as men, as humans, but especially as men. When you repress those feelings, they come out and manifest themselves in other ways that are less than lovely, less than productive, less than conducive to being a functioning, well-functioning adult and contributor to society, right? When you repress those things or you express them in ways that don't reflect some sense of accountability or not necessarily coming of age, but more so growing, then you come across as this Fighting Irish freestyle, right? like there was so many skews. Shout out to Yasin Bey, man. Here, there were so many questionable lines, and if I went through every single one, because nearly every single one was questionable, then this video would be like 45 minutes plus, and I'm not trying to do that. But of the many egregious lines that were performed here are some that many know stick out, right? So my daddy had another child. I told him that wasn't my sister. Wow, your daddy black. We're gonna get to that too. So this is Drake. This is not Kendrick. This Drake put this out for the Drake stans. I want you to understand, Drake did this of his own volition. And he's letting us all see, as clear as day, that he too has insecurities about his biracial nature. It's biracial buildup, makeup. Okay, I'll get to that in a second. Let me comb through some of these other lines. I don't have a drinking problem. I got a subtle addiction. Sounds like an admission to me. Sounds like Meet the Grams really got under his skin. I got my father's habits and I got my mother's permission. Okay. Wow. The dentist genes come out when the vodka is flooding my system. Hold on. I'm staring at my daddy while y'all tell me y'all wasn't that nigga. Okay. Okay. First off, with that last line, this line would be really fire if he didn't and hadn't laid bare his racial insecurities for us all to see. It's so glaring. It's so glaring. Like, bro, nothing is wrong with you being biracial. Nothing at all. Nothing is wrong with being biracial, y'all. That's not the problem. But when you start going logic levels of insecurity with it in your song, it starts to get very cringe very fast. And for those who understand, y'all know how logic do. Let's circle back. My daddy had another child. I told him that wasn't my sister. I got my father's habits and I got my mother's permission. The dentist genes come out when the vodka's flooding my system. When I heard those lines, I immediately connected. I read between the lines with him, and it feels like, and it seems like, he's attributing all of his negative aspects of his personality with his blackness. To me, that's what stood out the most, that he's attributing all of his negative aspects of his own personality to his blackness. And he's like separating himself from the negative aspects that his blackness brings him and not taking accountability for him just being kind of like a shitty person. You know what I mean? He's trying to separate his character from his race in a negative way, pinning all of his negatives on his race. This is why Kendrick called you a cosplay. This is why he called you a colonizer. This is why many in the culture are calling him a cosplayer. And I mean, he did it himself with the blackface, right? It's like he's trying to tell all of us something and only his fans are unwilling to accept it, or they don't care, right? Both are highly probable. Okay, y'all have a discussion in the comment section and we can continue it when in regards to that particular angle that I pointed out. Now, this battle has done a spectacular job of connecting the utter lack of accountability that Drake has always shown in his music before it took place and especially after the battle took place. Like, damn, man, damn. It just kind of continues to be everyone else's fault, right? It's not yours. It's literally everyone else's. So all different walks of life that you've run into, and the majority of them, they all have a problem with you. It's not you though, right? Even though they're different walks of life. They think differently, talk differently, walk differently, interpret differently, perceive differently. But they all have, they're all the ones that are wrong, right? At some point, you got to look inward, right? And, you know, here's the other thing. Like, no matter what slimy shit you do to people behind the scenes or on wax, it's just never, ever your fault, right? You're always right, right? You are just owed everyone else's loyalty, right? And you owe them none in return, right? That's what that's looking like. That's what this is all culminating to look like. Like, LeBron is not allowed to like Kendrick Lamar's music, even though LeBron's his experiences in America with 3Ks are way more relatable to Kendrick's experiences than yours in Canada. I'm not saying there isn't racism or racial disparities in Canada. There's that everywhere,
in every country you go to. There's no question about it. But, you know, LeBron would naturally relate more to Kendrick than he would a Drake.
Like, also, you look at like DeMar DeRozan, right? A Compton native who has always been down with Kendrick and was also down with you, right? Might I add. But DeMar is somehow automatically obligated to be down for you exclusively, no matter what, right? Despite his very close ties to his hometown of Compton, where he's from, right? It's just out of the realm of possibility for him to be loyal to the people that he knows, and especially someone like Kendrick, who he has a connection with, right? This is why Kendrick says, "You're not like us," because intuitively you just don't get it, bruh. And it's quite obvious that your very foolish fan base does not either. You know, I could drone on and on about how this freestyle is really the culmination of this man's entire character in a nutshell, which I kind of did. But alas, there's no need to, okay? My ears, like the millions of others, have become far too removed from his vapidity and his self-centeredness, his shallowness. It's why this freestyle literally sounded like this to me.
This is what I heard. Something complaining to bitching. Something complaining to bitching. Told Kenny drop, then I lost. My music ain't hitting. Now I'm all alone in my room complaining and bitching. Something complaining and bitching. Something I'm playing the victim. Something I'm playing the victim. That's all I heard.
And you know, that's it. And then there was another clip from this other user. I don't know if he was on TikTok or whatever, but he actually had like bars each line. Like, he killed it. It was hilarious. It was absolutely hilarious. But yes, all we heard was complaining and bitching, bro, and playing a victim. That's all we heard. I need to reiterate to fans of Drake. Okay? My favorite iteration of Drake. I was a fan of Drake. Okay? From 2009 to 2015. Chef's kiss. He reached his pinnacle, his zenith, to me, around the time when he released If You're Reading This Is Too Late, and around the time of 0 to 100, The Catch Up, and all that stuff. Right? And The Motion, and all that stuff. Like, those records, and anything in between that time period, to me, pristine. Okay? But then after that, something happened. And then now it's like there's been no growth. It's been stagnant. You've been unaccounted. You've been lacking in accountability for all these years. And now it's like the chickens are coming home to roost, because now you've plateaued, and it's like, where's the growth? Where's the push? Where's the drive to be even more creative in your bodies of work? Have you tried self-reflection? And not in the selfish sense, but in the sense of like, damn, I've really been fucking up lately. You know? And what about being more relatable to people in, you know, when it comes to like mental health and, you know, building a pathway for people to look towards the better of the future of anything outside of yourself? You know, that's subjective to me. That's just a question I felt like asking. Anyway, we don't want to hear that shit, bro. Unless you're willing to grow, go. Just go. Go somewhere you are wealthy. Okay? You're healthy. You're wealthy. Go somewhere. Go sit down and relax. Go away for a little while. Rediscover yourself. Come back with some fire. If you can. I don't think it will help overall too much in a grand scheme of things, like in a major significant way, but it can. That's just my personal opinion, that it might not help. I think it will help, but to what degree, I don't know. Anyway, y'all, make sure you like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell icon to be notified whenever I drop that new heat. You heard, yes, sir, and I'm gone.